Yes. This is the day that the Lord has made. Hello, everyone. We are going to continue where we left off in our reading of the Bible as part of our daily Bible discussion. Hello, hello. I'm going to read The True and False Prophets. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Likewise, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Okay, I just had a moment there. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Thus, by their fruit you will recognize them. Lizzie, hello. I'm reading my Bible this morning. So then the next one, Matthew 7, verse 21. My Bible titles it True and False Disciples. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, in your name drive out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? Then I will tell them plainly, I never knew you. Away from me, you evildoers. So I decided to read the true and false prophet section and the true and false disciple section together, thinking maybe those are pretty similar. Let me close my door because my son is playing music. And I don't know if you guys can hear. I'll be right back. Well, that didn't do very good. Good morning, everyone. I just read Matthew 7, 15 through 23. We're so the true and false prophets. The parable is a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. Do you guys agree with that? Or disagree? Or have any thoughts? I'm trying to find my pen. Well, I found my paper, now let me find a pen. Ooh. You know, when I give everyone a chance. I am not Jesus though, so I'm not going to like keep giving people chances. But I think I can pretty quickly discern when there's a bad tree versus a good tree. People. And depending on if I have to work with, like if they're my coworkers and I just have to deal with them. And you have to be, you definitely have to have your armor on. And then when it comes to a relationship, I have trouble discerning bad trees from good trees. Now, a true and false disciple. Oh, so to me, that section is saying you cannot just believe in God and Jesus. You have to be follow the commandments. That's what I'm gathering from that. Well, no, I don't know. I'm not really sure what that is telling me now. I guess it's saying you can't do some good things and then do bad things and still expect to get into heaven. Nobody has any comments this morning. Well, I'm going to journal what I just wrote. No, I'm going to journal what I'm thankful for today because I like to start my day with prayer by myself. Hey, Felix. I like to pray with my son in the morning. I like to read my Bible. I like to also journal what I'm thankful for to start out my morning. Yes, we were talking about false prophets, well, I was, because there's no discussion yet. I was saying, do you agree that a good tree cannot bear bad fruit and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit? Of course, that is the parable used to speak about people, prophets. Actually, what is a prophet? Let me look that up. I know what prophets were back in the day, but I don't. Let's see, prophet is a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God. Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. I don't. Do you think of consider anyone a prophet in today's society? Me personally, I don't think of anyone as a prophet. But apparently, the definition is a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God. Seems like there's a bunch of these in the church nowadays touching on youngsters. Yeah, there is a lot of false prophets. I don't consider them a prophet, but if they're considering themselves a prophet, then yeah, there are a lot of false ones. Lizzie. Okay, so first of all, it's talking about prophets. So I looked up that definition, and it's saying a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God. And I was explaining how I never even think about anyone being a prophet. I think of them as, okay, if your title is deacon, then that's what you are. If your title is preacher, then that's what you are. So if there are self-proclaimed prophets out there today, there are false ones. For the examples that Felix put in there. That, well, I don't know how you, if you keep up to date with news or even just listen in on some news, but there are men who are unfaithful, who are like the prophet. There are men who are is it called a pedophile? No. They're just not they're not treating young anyone, I guess, with respect. Good morning. Seneca, this morning is my live on my Bible scriptures, where I like to read and see what others' thoughts are of the scripture, because I like to hear other points of views. Okay, so that is pretty clear to me. True and false prophets. But now I also went on to read the true and false disciples, which, let me see what the disciple definition is. I hope you guys cannot hear my son's music. He's getting ready and decided to blast the music this morning. My hand hurts too. A disciple is a person who follows and spreads the teachings of a teacher or leader, especially a religious or political one. So, are there true and false disciples? Yeah, I do think so, in the same way that there are true and false prophets. I'm trying to write this down, y'all, for my own Bible study. A person who follows and spreads the teachings of a teacher / leader, i.e., religious or political. Yes, because there are the example, the parable. I don't know why I struggle to say that word. The parable is someone who goes out to prophesy in the name of God to drive out demons and perform miracles. So they could be doing that, but they're still doing other bad things. Felix, I'm going to dash this morning. And it is windy and it is raining. But I'm going anyways because I want to get it over with. I don't like dashing later in the day. Yeah, so my son tried to get out of going to school today just because it's windy and a little bit raining. Okay. Let me go back to that one definition. What? We follow Jesus, not. Good morning, Rico. I'm reading Saint's message. We follow Jesus not for religious or political reasons, but because it's the way, the truth, and the life. Amen. Yep. Let me. You see, I have a Bible and I intentionally purchased this one just for the reason that I could write on the side of it. So I'm trying to write down some definitions for my own. Let's see. For myself. Understanding. Person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God. Hello, Krista. And then also what I like to do in the morning. I mean, that seems pretty simple, right? True and false prophets, true and false disciples. At least we don't have anyone in disagreement. Also, what I like to do in the morning is focus on what I'm grateful for, what I'm thankful for. And that combination of praying, reading my Bible, and writing down what I'm grateful for, or even just thinking, it helps to set me up for a victorious day. Thank you, Krista. Good morning, Christopher. So I think, what am I grateful for? And I did come across someone's a quick short message that someone was saying. Think about 10 things you're grateful for. Wish 3 people, like, send them positive thoughts. And then there was one more thing he said. And he's like, that's this ingredients for like a really good day. So I was going to incorporate that into my morning also. I'm thankful that we had some rain. It's been a while. Mm-hmm. Exactly. All glory be to God. Yeah, because I don't know about anyone else, but when I forget to do any of those things I just mentioned, I find my day being chaotic, not quite going good. So I will stop when I realize that I forgot to pray. I didn't have time to read the Bible. I didn't even have think about what I'm thankful for. I will stop whatever I'm doing, wherever I am, and I will pray. And then it's like pretty instant when everything shifts for better in my favor. Because all thanks to the Lord. Krista, thoughts on advice for dealing with bitterness? yourself how to deal with it, or to be around someone who is bitter? Well, if it's yourself, you've just gotta pray to let it go. You gotta give it to God and pray that you can let it go. And it'll take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. I was in a situation where I literally counted the days when I finally just let it go. It took me, I want to say 3 months to let go of a situation. Like the pain, the anger, the all the emotions that came with it. I let it go finally, but it took me 3 months. And as far as the other person, sometimes you have to let them go. But if it's in a situation like you go to work and you have to work with them every day, because you can't control them, but you can control yourself. You just have to try to stay away from them, or just keep praying to yourself to be pleasant around them and to be able to tolerate them, because you can't change them. You can only work on yourself. Saint is saying, I can do nothing except through him who gives me strength. Hallelujah. Yes. Yes. And also, Krista, that same situation that took me 3 months to get over, when I was around the people that did what they did, I literally was shaking in my knees because it was bad. It was really, really bad. And when I had to be around them, I literally felt like I was going to that I couldn't stand up tall and straight. And I was praying the entire time. And somehow I had the strength. Like Saint is saying, I went up to them. I was sweet and I was kind to them. And I don't know how I did it. But if it's not too severe, it shouldn't be, too difficult. I know when I think about that, it makes me feel fake. So either you will be sweet and kind to them with all your heart, or just stay away from them. hmm It's hard to let go if that's what you have to do, but it'll be best for you. Especially if you've given them chances and you've given them like no reason to be bitter towards you. My mom used to always tell me, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say it at all. So that's kind of how I deal with other people who are bitter. Because if I don't sincerely mean to be sweet and sincerely mean to be kind, then I just try to stay away from them and I don't say anything. Rejoice in the time at hand, for it is letting away. Remember, life is a blessing and to be enjoyed. Mm-hmm. That is very true, Saint. But when you think about other people, my opinion is just stay away. Pray for them, but stay away. Because life is a blessing and life is meant to be enjoyed. And if you have someone who's bitter, it's hard to. You can be unbothered by them, but for me, it's just better just to be not even be around them. Because the more, this is what I'm thinking, okay? If I'm around someone that I don't care for them because of the way they are, I'm setting myself up to be because I don't have my heart is not 100% kind. It's not 100% sweet. And I know that about myself. I am human and I fall short. So I'm not going to pretend to like them. I can't do that. So the for me, I know it's best to not be around them. And I just pray. I pray for them. Okay, I have a few more minutes left. Does anyone have anything else to add? I do limit my morning Bible study to 30 minutes. So, Krista, you are one of the people I'm going to be specifically praying for, wishing you well. Because I'm trying a new thing that I learned yesterday. So I'm glad you came into the live and shared with us your question. Thank you, Krista. I rejoice in persecution and stand at the steps of the Father's kingdom and hear the voice of the Son and the Father and not the voice of those with bad fruits. Hallelujah. Yeah, I just always think how I know where I fall short. And in order to keep my soul well, I know myself pretty good, well enough to decide if I'm going to be around those kinds of people or not. because I find myself, oh, my 30 minutes is up. All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening, for adding your comments. I will be back tomorrow and we will continue on to the next verse in Matthew 7. Have a great day.